Hello YouTube, this is Curtis, or better yet known as 6-Speed Dakota. There she is right there. Now today I'm going to be working on my Yamaha 350 Wolverine. And there she is right there. She's an 07 and has the Yamaha Ultramatic continuously variable transmission. Let's get a closer look at there. Today we're going to be checking the belts, make sure they're okay. Now these transmissions, people are a little bit skeptical about these things sometimes because, maybe not be able to handle the power, but these Yamaha Ultramatics are very well known because they use the exact same transmissions on this 550 and 700 Grizzlies, the exact same one. So there's never been any issue with those, so they should be okay with something that's half the size. It's only a 350 two-wheel drive. I got a couple more, but they're not here right now. So right now we're just going to do some preventative maintenance. I was already adjusting the valves. I just got the fuel tank back in. So to check the transmission, what you want to do is there's going to be 4 bolts in the bottom of the step here on the right hand side of the ATV. You're going to want to remove those. There's 3 bolts on either side that holds the fender to the step. And once you go ahead and remove those, all you have to do is just yank on it. Comes right out. Don't forget that there's this little rail bar in here. It keeps the rigidity on the step when you're riding. Don't forget that. You won't be able to stand very well on it. You could break the plastic. Now, there are 14 screws in this entire assembly. I've already loosened them all. So all we have to do is just, don't forget the 2 in the middle here. These are the only 2 that are threaded in a good ways. And there's all these ones here around the outside, down in the bottom. And there's one way in there that I've already removed by the foot brake. Alright, so with all the screws out, what you have to do is you got to put your foot down on the foot brake as hard as you possibly can to get the foot brake out of the way. And the cover just pops right off. It's a bit of a pain to get off, but once you get the actual thing off, oh, got one more bolt left in there. Pull that guy out. Once you get the actual cover off, there she is, right there. Now this is the clutch assembly here. That's the motor side of it. And when you rev it, this pulley comes out and moves this belt upward, so it moves itself upward on this little drum here, and in doing that it actually increases the gear ratio and gives you a higher gear, so it allows you to take off from a stop, and it lets you travel at a higher speed without redlining the motor too quickly, so you don't have to do any gear shifting, which is nice for people that don't know how to drive a stick shift. Now this also has a one-way clutch, so you can turn this one way and you can't turn it the other way to prevent you from rolling backwards on a hill. Really what you're looking for in this case, if you look closely in there where my thumb is, probably can't see it, but make sure that there is no cracking going on in the teeth of the belt, and that the belt has fairly decent tension. In this case it looks alright. It's a little bit dirty in here because usually I ride in some dustier areas, so what we're going to do is we're just going to clean it off with some compressed air. Alright, now here we're going to go cleaning this assembly out here. Alright, now it's time to give you a run demonstration of this. Now what you're going to see is originally what's going to happen is when the engine starts, this is not going to move because of that little centrifugal clutch inside there. The engine has to reach a certain speed before the clutch actually engages, almost like a chainsaw, but a lot bigger. And what happens is at a low speed this is going to turn fairly slowly, and the pulley is quite small down there, giving you lots of reduction. And what's going to happen as the speed increases, this drum is actually going to push out, and this tapered surface here is what the belt's going to start to climb up on. And these tapered teeth here on the belt are going to grab onto that. And that, in turn, increases your gear ratio. This doesn't have any set gears. It's continuously variable, meaning it's got infinite number of ratios. There is not 1, 2, or 5, or whatever set ratios. All right, let's give you a run demonstration here. I'm going to turn the key on. A little throttle. Start it. Alright, notice the belt's actually not turning, but when I give it gas, there it goes. Now if I rev it a lot more, you'll start to see that belt start to climb. If I do it right now, you'll see it. Now, if you also watch on this side, it does the exact opposite. It gets smaller. It's the same kind of thing as the other side. Probably can't see it as much. Turn that off. And that's how a CVT transmission works. Now that it's all said and done, all you want to do is just make sure that your machine surfaces there are clean so that the belt doesn't slip, free of grease and everything else. And I already hosed out everything with compressed air to make sure it's all nice and clean. And it looks good. There's no cracks in the belt really. I don't see any problems. No chips in the teeth. So it looks like we're good for another year. Alright, now that we got all 14 case bolts done up, now what we're going to want to do is install the step. So first thing you're going to want to take this little sidebar here, you're going to want to place it right in the holes there. The holes will line up, and what you want to do is just ever so carefully, without spilling the thing. It's kind of hard while I'm holding the can. Oh, there it goes. Get that guy in there, and line both sides up. The step goes over top of the fenders like that. And what we'll do is we'll take this guy and slide it in underneath there. It's a bit of a pain, but there we go. And then just line your holes up after right there. Now, see if I can find the bolts here. Just take your 4 bolts with 10 mil heads and install them in each of the 4 holes. And then the last pieces you want to put in are these 3 bolts here, and these 3 bolts here. Now they have a little Allen head on one side, and they're a nut on the other side. So you're going to have to get an 8mm wrench and the appropriate size Allen key. Sometimes is what people do is they'll have it started. Sorry, I'll hit the button. And then say the motor's not running too well, so they rev it. And then they throw it in gear. And what that'll do is that's going to cause the bike to jump, because the drum inside there hasn't stopped spinning yet. So don't do that. That's bad for it. So what if you do rev it, just give it a second and wait. Just wait. And then apply your foot brake and put it in gear. And there you go, it doesn't jump. If you give it a second for the drum to slow down, it won't jump. You'll be okay. The thing that's bad about it jumping is that the clutch is inside there. When you go ahead and throw it in forward gear like that, it hasn't stopped spinning. And that jump, it just tears the clutches apart inside. It's just not good for them. So if you do rev it, give it a second, maybe 5-6 seconds, doesn't take long, then put it in gear. This has been another episode in the garage from 6 Speed Dakota. Alright, stay tuned for more tips and helpful tricks.